Michael, how you doing, brother?
Good. How about yourself, brother?
I'm doing okay. How's your day been?
Today's been good, man. I got in a good workout this morning, did some yard work, uh, moved a sculpture that I've got going out front with my brother and got that kind of situated, and then just did some gardening. So
What's
that
a
was my day.
sculpture? What is a sculpture?
So I own a welding business,
Okay.
and I do a lot of metal sculptures. So we've got some trees that I did with another well-renowned artist out of Black Forest. We did 11 trees that are traveling the United States right now on a botanical gardens tour. And
Okay.
then we did three trees that are at the 16th Street Mall in Denver. They're three aspen trees, right over by Coyote Ugly. So if you go down there, you get to see some artwork that I've done.
I'll have to go down there and check it out, bro. That's kind of badass. I had no fucking idea. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, and so I've got the sculpture that I'm doing out front is a tree of my own. I've done a couple trees of my own. A few years ago, me and my brother did a really big tree sculpture out of our shop, and we sold it for around 25K to a Google executive. And that was really cool. It was really fun. We were like, let's just try our best to sell art and make art. And
Yeah.
so it kind of sparked that for us. We've been doing that. And don't get me wrong, I don't make a ton of money off it, but I make some good money here and there.
Yeah. Do
Um,
you focus mainly on art or on industrial welding, like commercial welding?
More industrial, more structural
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
I do a lot of ornamental railings, spiral staircases, stuff like that. So
Yeah, that's pretty fucking badass, bro. So how long have you been studying? So we're gonna talk about testosterone levels in men. And I've I bet there's some correlations to what's going on today. If we
I agree. Yeah.
I bet there's some stuff downstream from men having lower testosterone now to what the fuck we're dealing with today. So and we don't edit, we can cuss and do whatever, but whatever you say goes on a fucking video, bro, because I haven't figured out how to edit videos. So we just throw it the fuck.
Organics, yeah.
Yeah, we throw it the fuck out there. How long you been looking into lower testosterone in men? I think I read a stat a while back, and I posted about it. How 40 and 50-year-old men 50 years ago had higher testosterone than 20-year-old men now.
Yeah, I read the same thing, and I couldn't agree more. I mean, we have a slew of weak men right now, and
Yes.
it's sad to say. I hate to say that, but it's kind of the truth. And I think the thing is, they really do have a lot of correlation. Yeah, I've been studying lower testosterone in men now, like actually trying to change and work with my hormones for I want to say 5 or 6 years, but I've been studying hormones and I've been on they're messing with our hormones kick,
Yeah.
conspiracy theory shit kick
Yeah.
since the fifth grade.
Okay.
So the very first book report that I wrote, they gave us the opportunity to write a book report on our favorite animal or a natural disaster. And I chose natural disaster, and I, hit the internet and did a bunch of research and found that there's an extreme amount of estrogen wash off in our water system,
Okay.
and estrogen can be filtered out. It can't be boiled out. It really can't be cleaned out of our water. So what you're getting is what you're getting.
Okay.
Um,
Do you think that could be from? What do you think that's from? If could that be from medications? Could it be from birth control? What could it be from that's making it underwater? Do you think?
I think it could be from a number of things. Pesticides, number
Okay.
one, which was in the research that I did when I was younger, and still to this day, what I find is it mostly comes from pesticide wash off.
Okay.
So the heavy amount of estrogen comes from pesticide wash off, and then also birth control. People flushing birth control down the drain, or medications down the drain, or disposing of things that way right into our water system, things like that. And
Okay.
it was a heavily. Go ahead.
Just a quick aside. I read something. I learned because I'm really interested in this sort of thing. I read something. Birth control is fucking women up. They will be on birth control and they'll get married and they'll start wanting to have babies and they get off their birth control and they're like, who the fuck is this guy? Like they're no longer fucking attracted to their husband. Just
Dude,
to
it's crazy that you say that, and it is really crazy that you say that because me and my wife went through something similar about 5 6 years ago before I
okay.
started getting my hormones in line. You know, I found out that I had estrogen levels of a woman, like quite
Okay.
literally. I did my blood work because a friend of mine told me like, dude, you get your fucking blood work done. Like, you look like shit. You're skinny as fuck. You're
Yeah.
basically you're being a bitch.
Yeah.
And so, you know, shout out Travis, I love you, brother. But you know, and so I did, man. I did my blood work and I saw like that my estrogen levels were extremely fucking high and my testosterone levels were extremely fucking low. And I was like, no, well, no wonder I fucking am fighting with my wife all the goddamn time. I'm another one of her. Like,
Yeah.
imagine what she's got to deal with right now. And so then I really started like thinking about hormones and shit. She was on birth control. I said, fuck that, you're done. Stop with the birth control. And I went and got a vasectomy.
Okay.
I knocked her up one last time. She wanted one more baby. So I gave her one more baby. I went and got a vasectomy and got her off the fucking birth control for good. And as we've ironed out our hormones, our lives have ironed out, our communication is ironed out. We've learned that a lot of things weren't external, that
Okay.
they were internal, and that we needed to fix those things internally. Like, and I don't mean like shadow work or shit like that. I mean like
Oh yeah.
fucking get your hormones right. You know what I mean? Eat
Yeah.
better,
Yeah.
fucking have healthy lifestyle habits and just get things more in line with yourself and your hormones improve, things like that improve, and everything else in your fucking life improves.
How did you
And
go
that's, you
about
know,
that?
well,
I'm
at
going to
first I was
interrupt
like,
you
I'm gonna
off and on the whole podcast. Okay. I
no,
suck
you're
at
good. I love that. I love it.
that.
I love it. So because I'll fucking go on and on and on, you know. So I started off. I was like, I'm gonna go the all natural way. I was
Okay.
like, I don't want to, you know, do injections. I don't want to do anything like that. I want to go all natural. And I started eating as clean as I could, and I started taking some supplements to try and raise my testosterone, which was also extremely low. I was like 320.
Okay.
I think the number was like 323 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And you know, that's quite awful for where a man needs to be. I was 111
Yeah.
pounds, dude.
Jesus
I looked like a
Christ,
fucking
bro.
crackhead, but I was not a crackhead. I just working my ass off, like
Yeah.
looking like a fucking.
Yeah.
You know, so I went the all natural route. You know, eating cleaner, trying to do that, and I was raising my levels slowly, but I really only got like up about 100. So I
Yeah.
got into like the 400, still feeling like shit. I did that for like 2 years, and then I said, "Fuck this! I'm running TRT." I was an idiot and I listened to one of my bodybuilder friends and I didn't run TRT. I told myself in my head I'm running TRT and then I blasted fucking
You did a
500 mLs
cycle.
of fucking test every week for fucking 3 months and I got bigger, man. I grew and I gained some weight and I turned into a fucking frog. My back fucking broke out like crazy. And I learned that lesson really well. You know what I mean? So I came off that cycle. I said, well, I enjoyed all of the other effects. My libido was great.
Yeah.
Sexual drive, all that shit, everything was fantastic. I was on top of everything, but I didn't like what it was doing to my skin. I didn't like what it was doing to my heart health. My blood was getting too thick.
Yeah.
So I said, well, okay, I'm going to come this cycle and I'm going to let myself rest for, you know, about 6 months. I did that. I ran a clean PCT. So, you know, post-cycle therapy. I just ran some other medications that help the testicles start producing more testosterone. And I learned the lesson, like I didn't need that much testosterone to actually have really good effects from it. And so now
Okay.
I'm microdosing every single day. I'm on 70 mLs a week.
Okay.
And dude, I feel better than I've ever felt, and I'm getting more from it than I've ever gotten. And this is long term. So I've, you know, teamed that up with a couple other peptides, and I feel fucking fantastic. So
yeah, you're pretty fucking built now, bro. I watch your
thank you. I
videos
mean,
all the fucking time.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I mean, you are too, dude. I'm trying to look like dudes like you. You know, you guys are fucking huge.
Yeah, I'm not on TRT. I'm up there. I've been putting injections in my butt. I've been doing injection in my butt cheeks since my 30s.
Okay. Yeah. I don't see no issue with it. I just didn't like it what it was doing for me. You know what I mean? You know, more power to the guys that do it and that don't have estrogen sensitivity, because I have really, really bad estrogen sensitivity.
You get that
and I've met
rebound.
my blood. Go ahead.
you get that rebound from testosterone. It can rebound and then go straight to fucking like half of it turns to estrogen. You start getting sore fucking nipples. I think I had sore nipples once. I pumped my nipple on a fucking piece of gym equipment and almost cried, bro. I was like, oh, it's time to fucking, it's time to take that shit down a little bit.
Yep, you gotta take something for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like I've been dialing in my numbers, just trying to figure out where I really enjoy being, and I think I found it, and I'm gonna stick here for quite a while. I
Okay.
take 3 shots a day, with my Pamorelin, NAD plus, and my testosterone.
Yeah,
And
Pamorelin, the MK677. That's a growth hormone peptide, right? That's a growth hormone secretagogue.
yeah, it's Pamorelin and MK677 are different. They're two
Okay.
different peptides though.
Okay.
You could pair them together. But I think MK677 is a SARM.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's a peptide or
not. Yeah, it's actually a SARM. I ran that forever. I loved it, bro. I fucking loved it.
okay. Yeah, I heard that from another friend. He really liked it too. But I other things like that kind of they worry me for heart health, liver health, longevity. But I mean, and that's why I'm doing like the NAD plus for longevity. You know what I mean? I want to be able to destroy my kids in every athletic endeavor they have until like fucking can't anymore.
That's fucking
You know what I mean?
important, bro. That's important. That is an important part of being a father. I took my daughter when she was 7 to play foosball and kicked her fucking ass for 2 hours straight, bro. People are like, yeah, but what the fuck are you doing? I said, she's going to be strong. She's going to be a good fucking player. Me taking it easy on her is not going to help that.
Yeah, yeah. And my boys are all year-round wrestlers.
Okay.
All 3 of my boys that can wrestle right now. My youngest can't wrestle yet, but he's going to.
Okay.
And so, dude, they are fucking rowdy. They are crazy. They're kicking the shit out of me all the time. And so I'm just pushing it, man. I'm just trying to get to the finish line, one piece.
Yeah, what got you into that as such a young? You said how old were you? 5th grade.
5th grade.
Jesus.
Just first 9/11.
I was not intelligent at all in 5th grade. I was a fucking dork. I was getting in trouble. What got you into that?
I was a fucking asshole in 5th grade. I was a trouble kid. I was around a lot of adults all the fucking time. And so when 9/11, when they turned on that TV for us in the 5th grade classroom for 9/11 for us to watch it,
yeah,
I looked at it and I said, that's fake. I said that didn't happen the way that they're selling us it happened. That's why it's on the news. Yeah. And I got in trouble for it. I got sent to the fucking office. I got sent home. And from that day on, it was just kind of like I'm on the internet because my dad worked for a computer company, so we had access to the internet. Yeah, I was like, I'm doing research. I want to figure out what this world's about. I want to figure out what they're hiding from us. And back then, like the internet was really open to a lot more things that it's not now. A lot of shit that you could find back then you can't really find easily now on the internet.
Yeah, it's pretty censored right now. It's kind of censored. I try not to Google too much because Google seems like it's coming from a weird standpoint. It seems like it's coming from more of a political standpoint than the free information seems to have gone out the window.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, there's a control on every bit of it. That's why, you were looking for that statistic about testosterone and lowered levels. That's why it looks so hard for you to get to it. So they want you to quit, Let's make it stand through 10 pages before it can even find anything out.
Yeah, and then you got all kinds of shit conflicting itself, and then you got all these special interest people. Because I really think it's steered. I think we have more access to information we're supposedly have more access to information we've ever had. But I don't know what, when Elon Musk took over Twitter, he fucking fired like 80,000 people. Like he fired most of the fucking people and figured out that people were talking to Twitter, telling them to censor their information. Facebook went through that whole fucking thing a couple years ago. Yeah. So, yeah, they don't like us having so much free information. I became really fascinated with the way the world works too. I went a slightly different path, but I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is going on with the world? I must be missing out on something. Like I thought I must be fucking missing out on something. I was like, I don't
Yeah.
feel, like whatever's going on, it's not going on here. I didn't feel like part of the fucking world, and I went down so many fucking rabbit holes. It's really, I don't know why everyone does not look a little bit, just pull a little bit on the thread of the fabric to see what comes loose.
Yeah, people are afraid. People don't want that information as well, you know. There's
Yeah.
always been a suppression of information, suppression of the truth. You look at
Yeah.
history, and no matter what we look at in history, all bit of history was written by man, and none of those men were impartial to the truth. And
No.
so a lot of the time, you know, you have history, but you don't even really know what true history is. But what we can look at for sure is that the fall of empires, we always have a level of gender dysphoria,
Okay.
a level
Oh,
of
yeah.
a level of men wanting to be more womanly, wanting to be more feminine, wanting to be take on the roles of women. Men wanting to be in fucking women's sports, for goddamn sakes. Like, I cannot stand that shit. Dude, what the fuck?
Do you know
All
what?
right, you want to be in women's sports? Put these fucking dudes up against some real fucking women MMA
Yeah.
fighters.
Yeah.
They'll get their fucking asses kicked, man. Like,
Yeah.
I get so tired of seeing these sports, these vulnerable ass sports where dudes are getting into them and destroying fucking women, and it's like the
You got-
Roman Empire all over again.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention, Roman Empire, because I looked in the same thing, and I don't know what kind of man gets into the ring and just beats up a fucking woman. Like, I don't know what the fuck kind of man walks with his head held high, because they did a study. They played a professional women's football team, or semi-pro, whatever it is now, against a middle school boys football team, and the women got fucking slaughtered, bro. Like, it's out of place. It's not whatever bill we're being sold is a fucking lie. And you're right. The Roman Empire, people's transgenderism was going uphill during the fall of the Roman Empire. There has never been, and this is going to be kind of a hot one, there's never been a non-patriarchal society that flourished. In fact, if we look back in history, there are no non-patriarchal societies because they did not fucking make it into the history books. Like, there's no, it's always been run by, it's always been, I won't say that. I won't say something, but yeah.
You know, I'll bring up one that is super touchy. A lot of people don't like talking about it, but do you know what the first book burnings were? You know, obviously not Alexandria and stuff like that, but the first book burnings
Okay.
In Germany, do you know what they were? What books they were burning?
I have no clue, but I did read about the book burnings.
It was all transgender mutilation stuff, transgender, how to become a transgender. It was all the same shit that, you know, we're going through right now. I hate to say it, but Hitler was trying to get rid of that shit out of Germany, dude.
So
Like,
there is, that's a hot one. That's a hot one.
That's a hot
So part of what they
It's a
were
sad
doing
one.
was legit.
Yeah, I mean, some things that, you know, you look at it like where we're at today. I mean, Hitler said, and don't quote me word for word on this,
No,
but he
no.
said something along the lines of, you know, if the U.S. wins the war, then Hitler will be the start of World War III as well. And you kind of look at where we're at right now and look at where Israel's at, and it's a bunch of fucking Jews killing Christians, kind of like it's always been, Christians and Jews fucking killing each other.
Yeah.
You know, we can't find some kind of middle ground for religions, you know, but, and Muslims obviously too, but, you know, it's fucking insane to think that we're in that place and all of these things are so relevant with, you know, the original topic of low estrogen and us having these what you could say demonic or these entities that are forcing these forces amongst people, the LGBTQAIASLMNOP,
all the fucking alphabet. It's all been, in fact,
you know,
at one point they tried to include pedophiles into that.
they're still trying to, and that's a topic that, you know, I talk about with a lot of friends that are gay, and they also agree with me on this. Like, you're not born gay. You're not born gay. That came from a traumatic experience, something that happened to you when you were very young, and you caught on to that. Or your estrogen levels are too fucking high, which is a very, very big one. Your estrogen levels are probably too fucking high, so you're craving dick like fucking women.
You know,
And
There's let me throw in something real quick. So they did studies in Turkey. I think it was in Turkey. Don't I'm paraphrasing. And then they followed up with these studies where every when a woman had a boy, every succeeding boy after that, I don't know if that's the right fucking word for it, had a higher chance of being born gay. So
What the fuck?
yeah, like so if you had three boys, the third boy is going to have a higher chance of being gay than the first boy, which
Because
is
the other boys
fascinating
are
to me.
fucking with them or what?
I
Like,
have no fun. No, that's a legitimate fucking study. I don't know. Do you
you know,
think?
that's crazy. That is crazy. But if we start saying that, if we start saying that you can be born gay, then we are eventually going to
Then
have to start opening doors that we don't want to fucking open. Like you could be born a pedophile. You
yeah,
cannot be born a fucking pedophile.
yeah. Which
And
they've
I'm
already
not.
tried to open
I'm
that
not
door.
for that. Yeah, yeah. That door is closed for fucking good forever. You
Yep,
know,
yep.
and you know, I think a lot of those things come with hormones. A lot of those, you know, negative sexual attraction things come with. They start with our hormones. You know, the main sexual hormone is or sex hormone is a hormone. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? The reason we
yeah,
have sex is because
yeah,
of hormones.
yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean? So like if you look at like what you're attracted to, and you're not saying, well, that's because of where my hormones are at, then well, we've just not been taught enough about fucking human biology, you know?
well, isn't it? Now I'm not 100% sure about this, but wasn't the clit originally a dick? Wasn't weren't we all when we're embryos or however that works? I think it's hormones because all right, if a woman takes testosterone, her clit gets bigger. So I I feel like when we're embryos and when we're in there and it's time to decide to sex, I feel like it's hormones for the most part that kind of run the show on that.
Well, DNA
They,
as well, you know, our chromosomes. So, you know, yeah, and hormones play are a big factor in that.
yeah.
And so, definitely, if you're pregnant and your hormones as a pregnant woman are not intact,
Okay.
then yeah, your children could be affected by that. Not only that, this is a really crazy study.
Okay.
Is that they say for men, if you're going to have a child, if you're going to have a baby, then the 9 months leading up to getting your woman pregnant, you should make sure that your hormones and your health are in optimal shape. You are fucking in amazing shape before you get her pregnant because it
Okay.
reduces risk of things like preeclampsia and
That's
other issues that women
fascinating.
can have with giving birth. And dude, it is crazy how much hormones control everything in our life. Like most people don't realize vitamin D3 is a hormone, bro.
Is it?
It's not just a vitamin, it's a hormone.
What does
And
it
it's
do? Tell
created
people.
in the body.
Let's tell our people what it does. What is the use of vitamin D3?
It does a ton of things. Vitamin D3 is your happy hormone. So
Okay.
it's genuinely what makes you happy. It's what makes your body produce dopamine, but it plays a lot of factors in creating testosterone and
Okay.
keeping cholesterol levels where they're supposed to be, and the transfer of vitamin K2 and calcium through your blood the way it's supposed to transfer through your blood. If your vitamin D levels are low, I mean, you're going to have a number of other health issues that rather than if they're optimal, if they're good, and it's easy to get your vitamin D levels up. You get sunlight and you get vitamin D from the sun, and your body
Oh,
converts that and methylates it into vitamin D3, an immediate usable form of that vitamin, that hormone.
okay. So
And
so I'm gonna ask a question, but first I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole. So uh, when you wake up, this is completely fucking off topic. I just want to say it. So when we wake up, our adenosine system, your caffeine works on your adenosine system. Or if you got a good night's sleep and your nervous system actually shut down the way it's supposed to shut down, or it did what it's supposed to do, your adenosine system doesn't wake up for an hour and a half to 2 hours after you wake up, and then coffee will affect you a lot better. But what is awake is your adrenal system, which salt has an effect on your adrenal system. So I think a couple years ago, I started just drinking some salt and some Gatorade when I woke up, and I'd hold off the 2 hours for coffee, and it's remarkable what it fucking does. You don't have the fucking the caffeine crash later in the day. Also, something. So I try to get sunlight in my eyes first thing when I wake up because it raises your cortisol. So you want your
yep,
cortisol high in the morning and low in the afternoon for your sleep, so you can sleep better at night. So it's Andrew Huberman actually put this out. He's a neuroscience. He
Sun
actually,
gazing.
huh?
Sun
So
gazing.
yeah, yeah. So first thing in the morning, like I'll go out there in my shorts and nothing else and just stare at the sun. And I'm sure people think I'm fucking weird as fuck, but it's as fuck. It actually improves my fucking mood. It makes my mornings a whole lot better. I try to get a little stressed out in the morning so I can get all that out the way in the fucking morning, and then in the afternoon it's kind of you don't have the cortisol spike. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That's always been fascinating to me. Um, do you think there's a correlation? Right. So we're part nature, part nurture. Do you think there could be a correlation with the world just getting softer? That men, maybe from an evolutionary perspective, do not need the testosterone that we needed thousands of years ago when there was danger around every corner. Do you think that's a possibility? Because I love evolutionary psychology and biology.
I mean, it's obviously got to be a possibility, right? But
Yeah,
I look at the diets of Americans, and then I look at the diets of other people, and like I just watched a documentary on the blue zones around the world, and I saw like one that sticks with me is Costa Rica because I kind of really love that country.
okay.
But there's this old man. He's 110 years old, and he's horseback, fucking wrangling cattle, bro. And like, and I'm like, well, like you could tell that dude's fucking testosterone levels are optimal. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And so, like, don't get me wrong, testosterone is definitely good for danger, for situations in which you need to be more masculine. But,
yeah,
dude, it fuels every single thing in our body,
yeah.
every single
Okay.
thing. And with lower levels, you're more at risk of a million health issues than you are at elevated levels of testosterone.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it most crazy is that people are so afraid to get up there and get higher. They stay lower and they risk far, far more.
I think
I
it's
think our diet has a lot more to do with it.
I think a lot of that men being kind of scared of TRT is still kind of taboo. I know TRT became really popular, started getting real popular about 10, 12 years ago, something like that. And it's starting to become kind of more of a medically accepted thing to do but we've been giving men anti-anxiety, anti-depression when they get in their fucking middle ages and just over medicating men. And I think over maybe the next decade, TRT is going to really pick up, and we're going to kind of get our shit back together and quit over medicating men because low testosterone, anxiety, fucking depression, loss of libido, fucking loss of energy, all that shit, man. Fucking the whole skinny fat guy, like it's all
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I think it's just kind of taboo still for a lot of men.
Yeah, I think so too. I think also what I mean by that when I say like scared, I think also just men are afraid to get in the gym. Men are afraid to get moving. A lot of men think like, I just don't need to. And it's like, no, bro, you need, or a lot of guys that I talk to in construction, they're like, well, I work construction and that's enough. And I'm like, bro, I do too. It ain't
Yeah,
enough. I'm
yeah, it's
telling you right
obviously
now, it
not
ain't
enough.
enough. Yeah, yeah, you got
Yeah,
to fucking do more for that body. And when you do more, your testosterone levels naturally want to raise, they
yeah,
naturally want to get up there. And I think that it would be really cool to see, you said, to see TRT kind of, take off. I think that would be really cool too. But I think the more important thing would be to see if we could actually get some changes for our food here in America, some actual, some real fucking food, dude. Because if you saw the FIFA World Cup shit, like the players wouldn't fucking eat American food. Like they turned it
yeah.
down
Didn't they bring their
100%.
own food? Yeah,
They
they
made
brought
them
their
fucking
own
bring them
food.
like food from other countries, dude. They said that
Yeah,
no, we will not eat American food.
yeah,
Like, yeah, dude, that's how bad it is here, man. And like, you look at where our health is. Like, we have one of the worst standings throughout the entire world. Obesity is at an all-time high here, and it's been that way since the 50s. We're under muscle. We're not too fat. We're fucking under muscle. People just don't have enough muscle to counteract their insulin levels, to
yeah,
raise their
yeah.
testosterone, to, pump the blood through their system like they need to. We're under muscle. We're a nation of under muscle. And fucking, we need to start building some goddamn muscle back.
Well, the average American now is more obese than the average American pig. Okay. So that
Fuck,
it's a
yeah.
horrible fucking statistic. It is stuck in my fucking head for 2 fucking years now. I think about it almost every morning when I fuck. Like
Yeah,
that's a
dude, that's
legitimate fucking
fucking.
statistic.
I'm gonna start reminding all my fat friends that.
Yeah, I think shame. All right, let's go down the rabbit hole. I think shame. You know, we used to. I think shame works. All right, so I think to an extent, you know, you don't want to bully people. You don't want to. But shame is a natural human fucking emotion that we're trying to kick out the fucking door. And to tell you the truth, men should be shaming each other. All right. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know the psychological difference with women. I don't think, but I know for a fact that men should be shaming each other because it works. It
yeah,
tells you which fucking direction to go. We're fucking we get lost in our own fucking shit, man. We need that influence from our social circle to fucking keep us straight sometimes.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, no
healthy.
matter what you're gonna. Yeah, healthy competition, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I got a lot of good friends that'll tell me straight up when I'm fucking being a dickhead or doing some fucked up shit. Like, bro, like tone it down a little bit. You know? All right, I appreciate that. Fuck you, but I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't I haven't found that it might be my appearance, it might be my stature or whatever. I have a hard time with guys keeping me giving me actual constructive fucking criticism. I've got a workout partner. I work out with her and her boyfriend. She is 4'11", like 110 pounds, and she fucking gets on my ass, bro. She will straight up tell me, Kevin, you need to do this. Kevin, you're acting like this. And
That's fucking.
I always have a fucking really stubborn reaction to it. I'm like, fuck you. And then it'll eat at me for 2 fucking weeks. I'm like, all right, maybe she's right about this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how that shit works. Like, you're like, yeah, fucking a, damn it, pissed me off, and now I know that shit's true. Like,
Yeah, now I done ruminated on it for the last 2 fucking weeks of last week. But that's what we're meant for. We should be calling our male friends fat. We should be telling them, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, and a lot of people don't respond well to that, but that could be the lower testosterone levels too. Because I know if somebody told me I was fat, I'd be pissed off for a minute, but I'd be like, fuck, I gotta do something about my fucking, you know what I mean? So that could tie into that shit too, because it is kind of a competition thing. Like men size each other up, we compete with each other. It's a very, very different dynamic than women have. Although women have a lot of intersexual competition. So women are very, very shady about the intersexual competition. They actually did a study where it was in a workplace and no one knew what was going on. And there were a couple of women out in the hallway outside the boss's door, the guy who owned the place, and a woman came by and she was dressed in a suit, pantsuit, very conservatively. And they had hidden cameras and microphones. And she's like, yeah, I got to go talk to the boss. And she hung out for a minute, then she went in that door. Well, the women were like, oh, she seemed pretty cool, you know, but then they did another study where she came kind of dressed kind of fucking not so conservatively. She was dressed a little bit sexy. There was and the same exact fucking scenario. And then women talked shit about her behind her fucking back the second she walked in the boss's door. So there's a lot of competition with women too, but it's more of an intersexual type fucking thing. Like women are horrible to each other, bro. They've shown. I'm gonna go down fuck rabbit hole. They've shown men basketball players and female pro basketball players. Men pro basketball players show more affection for the opposing team than women do for their own teammates. So
oh yeah, dude, women are rough, man. Yeah,
I'm sure
they
there's
fucking hate each other more than they hate us.
yeah, fuck, bro, and like a guy, all right, like I'll tell you flat out, bro, you're a fucking retard. And I'll go talk, you know, I'll be talking to somebody about, like, he's a pretty fucking cool dude. Women are the exact fucking opposite, bro. They'll be like, you're so beautiful. And then they'll go talk to their fucking friends and just slaughter them, bro. It's kind of a woman world out there on the woman's side, too.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. But guys are definitely way more chill about it.
Yeah, we take it a little bit better. That could be fucking testosterone levels. So the world has gotten. Have you looked into microplastics?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they play a huge role in a lot of things that are going on right now. A lot of, lowering of, testosterone and just unbalancing hormones altogether, because,
Yeah.
having low testosterone isn't just low test. Like all of your hormones are unbalanced if your testosterone is low.
Yep. Yep.
And so microplastics play a huge role in that, with your kids, your children, what they're eating, it's going to affect their lives later on when they're older. And dude, it's in fucking everything. And I guarantee it, there's a ton of it in processed foods because they're probably just dumping it in.
Yeah.
The FDA doesn't really monitor what a lot of these processed food companies are putting in their fucking food, man. And
Okay.
like my newborn baby has never had canned baby food, and he never fucking will.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, his first food after breast milk was beef bone broth and egg yolks.
Yeah.
So we went straight from mama's boob to animal products.
Yeah.
Because there's no fucking need for a carb in a baby's diet. We're developing a brain, and what develops a brain is fat.
Okay.
And animal products and nutrients from animals.
Okay.
And so we fed him the most nutrient dense foods. That baby doesn't like sweets, man. He doesn't he's almost 2 now. So he's not really a baby anymore, fucking A, but he doesn't really like sweets. Every morning he has beef with eggs or beef with another something else that's healthy for him, sweet potato, whatever mom's cooking for him. But has beef every fucking day, 3 times a day. And that's that baby's fucking diet. And he'll be on that for a while until he gets older and decides he wants to eat other things, choose, because he doesn't need anything else to build a strong gut. And I mean, don't get me wrong, we still give him some vegetables and stuff here and there. He has berries, he has some fruits and stuff, but his main meals, like his main proteins, come from beef and eggs.
Okay.
Sometimes chicken, but we try and stay away from chicken because it's hormone dense. Like, there's fucking hormone in every bit of chicken, no matter what you're eating, where you're getting it from. There's fucking hormones in it.
Same as turkey, right? Same as those big fucking turkeys they sell on fucking Thanksgiving. They fucking pump them up full of fucking hormones to get them that fucking big.
They do.
I've been against Thanksgiving turkey for a long fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah, so I feed him a lot of lamb, just a lot of really fucking whole foods, man, because the carnivore diet's a cool thing, but it's also a diet fad. It doesn't last. You know what I mean? You do need a sense of carbs. You need a sense of more fats than what that diet offers. Although it sounds really fucking cool. I love steak, but for the kids, for the baby, man, he's been healthy as shit. I got into a fight with my father-in-law for giving him fucking chocolate pudding one time. I punched him right in his fucking shit. Fucking not that you can give him a fucking chance, man. He put fucking chocolate pudding in my baby's mouth. That's
very intentional. So you've been really intentional about raising them. That's pretty fucking good, man.
Man. Well, I got tired of my health being shit, and I want them to be nothing like I was.
Yeah.
I want them to be what I am, but I want them to be nothing like I was. And in order to get them there, I have to stop them from eating the processed foods that I, as a 90s kid, fucking grew up eating, because I had we had the mecca of fucking processed foods and fucking purple ketchup and fucking all this crazy ass shit, and I don't want them to have those cravings. I don't want them to have those I want them to be athletic. I want them to be healthy. So
okay. How much have you looked into female hormones? As it pertains to huh?
Say that.
How much have you looked into female hormones just to circle back to your wife, as it pertains to women? What does that look like?
I mean, quite a bit. I started to try and figure out, how the birth control is really affecting my wife. And my sister had a hysterectomy because of her birth control.
Okay.
And my sister's really holistic, into peptides, really fucking smart about this type of shit. My sister's also, I believe she's on a small dosage of testosterone to raise her estrogen levels, to help to manage her hormones, just period. And I think for women and men, it's on an equal scale of how much our hormones affect our body. I think just for women, it's far more frequent that they're out of whack because they have their monthly cycle. They cycle monthly with the moon.
Yeah.
I, whereas we cycle daily. Our hormone cycles are daily. That's why in the morning when you wake up, you're kind of ready to take on the fucking world all the way throughout the day,
Yeah.
and in the evening you kind of want to rest. You want to let your things die down because we're on a daily hormone cycle. Women are on a monthly hormone cycle. I
Okay.
think that's really the only huge difference between our hormones, besides the fact that women want a higher level of estrogen than
Yeah.
men, and men want a higher level of testosterone than women. And, just you swap those two, and it's very similar.
Yeah, they did. They do studies for everything. I love fucking studies. I love statistics. I love data because I think if we look at all that shit, we see the bigger picture. We can actually
Yeah.
figure out we can see the small picture, the bigger picture. They did a study where women, while they ovulate, are more attracted to a more masculine face. And when they're done
Yeah.
ovulating, which goes into a lot of mate selection and cheating with women, a lot of it happens during ovulation because it's just a fucking hormone thing. And then after ovulation, they're more attracted to kind of a more feminized face.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. They
Yeah, that
want
was
mating time. They want that masculine man
yeah,
for mating
yeah.
season.
Yeah, which is it's evolutionary biting us in our ass over that one. And then they did another study. Okay, this is completely fucking off topic. Uh, they interviewed like 1,000 men while they were hungry, and they showed them pictures of women. And when the men were hungry, they were more attracted to the bigger women, to the more overweight men. But after they fucking ate, after they fucking ate, they were attracted to thinner women. And you can see it through history. If you see the pinup models that they have put out in magazines during the Great Depression, they were all bigger fucking women. So it's kind of fascinating. Like you can see that through history how uh, the lack of having made you want more in a way. It's kind of weird, but
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious,
yeah,
dude.
it's amazing. I haven't wrapped my brain around it yet. I think about that almost every day too. So.
That's awesome. Hey, dude, I ran out my battery here. I thought I had more, but I'm at like
Okay.
5%.
No, that's all right. We're about to wrap up. We're at 42 minutes, brother. But I think we
Cool.
ought to do this on a somewhat regular fucking basis. Because
Dude, that sounds great.
this was a good fucking conversation. I think this was probably one of my favorite conversations I've had, and that 42 minutes kind of flew the fuck by. So thank you.
Did, yeah.
I've got kind of all right. I didn't prepare you for this, but I've got kind of a closing tradition where I ask, "What do you struggle with as a man? Like, what do you struggle with that you don't talk about? What are some of the things, like 3 o'clock in the morning thoughts, stuff you only talk to your pillow about? What do you struggle with?"
I think my biggest struggle right now is my temper.
Okay.
And getting my hormones in line has really helped me with that. But
Yeah.
man, I've been a very temperamental person my entire life, and I kind of grew up around that. Temperament. Both parents kind of wild, crazy, yelling at me,
Yeah.
and I kind of thought that was the natural way to talk to people when
Yeah.
you want things. And
Yeah.
so I bring sometimes when I talk to my wife, and I am trying my best to kill that part of me, so I'm not yelling at the people that I love.
Yeah.
I'm not angry towards the people that I love, and I think that's my biggest struggle. I'm doing pretty good at ironing everything else out, but that's a big one. Temper is a
Yeah.
big fucking struggle. So,
Thank you for
but
that.
I stay aware of it, and I just keep working at it.
Yeah. Thank you for that. That was really vulnerable. Half the people,
Yeah.
80% of people I asked that to give me some bullshit fucking response. I wasn't prepared for it. So thank you for that. That was really fucking good. I like that.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course.
All right, brother. We're going to wrap up. Thank you for being on the fucking podcast. We're going to do this on a fucking more regular basis because this was a good fucking conversation. I appreciate you. And I will send you the link before I post it anywhere else.
Dude, sounds great.
All right, brother. Have a good night, man.
You too, brother, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Bye.